action.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people upside down, inside out, outside and inside the gender binary, and all around it. Welcome to TOQ, or That's Our Q for Long. I am Danny Guarantee,
Good job
joined
on that.
as always, thank you so much, I even messed up the middle. Joined as always by my super friendly guest hostess with the mostest, Adam.
Let's talk about bodily fluids, folks.
Okay, anyway, this is a very special episode. Welcome.
I had that in the chamber the moment I hit the button.
Of course you did.
When you said you would do the intro, I was like, perfect. I know exactly what I'm going to say.
We were talking about bodily fluids right before this and how gross people are.
No, well, you were. I mean, yes, we were. There was more to it, but yes.
You were the one saying the human body is disgusting.
The human body is disgusting and fascinating. Like, it's
It
gross in
is.
there, but it's so fascinating.
Welcome to a very special episode of That's Our Q. This is, as far as mainline episodes go, the 69th episode.
Boy, do we have.
Nice.
Oh, man. Terry, get ready for a family-friendly 69 episode.
Yes, because I purposely did not pick the worst thing I could read ever with my eyeballs. What do you say, buddy?
Why would it be worse? What do you mean?
Well, because this one's at least like about the connotations of 69 and not the other one that I read to you beforehand.
Right. Well, yeah, we're not going to get graphic here.
No.
You
We know
that's not
things
what
can
this
get a
show.
little gross, but we have standards. They're just really
Yeah,
low.
that's not what this show is for. We don't want you to vomit into your own hands or into your spouse's hands like while this is going on. Like,
right.
you should feel whole.
Because when that
and
happened to me, I almost followed it up,
which is very.
which would be very bad.
One time, my sister puked all over me like Christmas Day.
Not going to get that graphic.
Yeah, it was fucking gross. She walked into the room. My older brother and I were sitting there in his room. She ran in, covering her mouth, and we were like, what? And then my brother goes, do you need to puke? And she kind of shakes her head. And he's like, well, go to the bathroom. And she shakes her head, no. And then she points at his old Halloween bucket that he had under his bed. It's like empty green bucket. And he says, no, you can't puke into that. And so she turned and she puked all over me. And I was like, first of all, I'm like, why would you not let her just puke in the bucket? I got puked on instead, and you got puke on your floor. That was a terrible day. I had some brand new pajamas. They were like Aladdin pajamas that glowed in the dark.
Not anymore.
And they were awesome. And I was like, well,
there goes that.
Cool. Anyway, let's share your question that you chose for us, Daniel. Sorry for that.
No,
detour.
not at all. We're keeping it very, nice and friendly and not at all disgusting this time.
Yeah. Also, speaking of disgusting, I'm getting over a pretty gnarly flu. So if I sound a little different, that's why.
Yeah. Speaking of disgusting bodily fluids, Adam's making a bunch of them right now. All right.
I have so many. I'm actually drinking more fluids so I can make more bodily fluids with this fluid.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. You don't want to run out of fluids for your body fluids.
Oh, no way. It's like keeping your car oiled.
Yeah, that's how you dry up. You shrivel up.
You got to do it. You'll be a raisin. And then I'll eat you because I love raisins.
I won't because I hate them. I want a nice plump grape.
That's great. I mean, I love grapes too.
Yeah, plump.
Raisins are also great. Especially if you get a nice plump raisin. Oh, yeah.
No, that's just a grape.
No, you can have
just a rotting grape.
No. You can have a plump raisin. Have you seen those like big old, like real thick boys? Man,
here we go again.
Awesome.
All right, everybody buckle down. This is what the episode is now.
What's the question?
Raisins are just old, dehydrated, gross grapes, and I will not hear otherwise. Anyway, here's the question.
Go ahead.
Throwaway 69 30 49, very nice. Wants to know if they are the asshole for putting 69 on their locker. I will summarize for you that they do cross country and their number for their meet is 69. They like
you said the number for their meat. Go on.
Look, their track meet.
Oh, got it. I thought you were talking about a deli.
Anyway, liar. They said they love having the number 69 because it is their favorite number and their lucky number. And that they and their whole team and everybody all thought it was very funny. Haha, your number is 69. They are in 8th grade, so everybody knows what the connotation is. And They know sex. They know the birds and the bees and all that stuff.
They know they
They
have an
know.
idea. There's no way they know shit. I didn't know
I
shit about
don't
sex
doubt
till I
that.
was 17. I still barely know anything about it at
Yeah, but that was
37.
like 40 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. That was back before we had high-speed internet.
Yeah. I bet you these kids know about sex before they're even in like 5th grade now.
When you
Um,
say know about it, they know what of it. They've heard of it. They know, like,
I
the
bet you they know what it is, like, in
idea,
and
but I
out.
mean, like,
I don't think they've
you know,
done it, hopefully, but, like, they probably have, like, seen porn or something.
there are men out there that think that you know what? It doesn't matter. All I'm saying that people there's things that people think
Oh,
and they
yeah,
will
people are
never know.
stupid.
So, this person runs track and field.
Alright, so they
They
run
run cross
track, their
country.
number is 69, so they took tape and put it up on their locker in saying 69, and they
Okay.
would ask people if they like their number.
Uh-huh.
Everybody was laughing about it, but then they got called into the principal's office
Uh-huh.
and got yelled at saying that it could be sexual harassment and it only takes one person to be offended for it to be a problem. So they have to
Uh-huh.
take it down, but they could also get like a government sexual harassment thing involved. It turns out all they had to do was watch a sexual harassment video and they got a lunch detention. And I guess they have to take it down. Are they the
This is
asshole for putting the 69? They don't think they did anything wrong putting the 69 on their locker.
this is some dumb 8th grader? Yeah, grow up, kid. Um, no, well, first of all, I don't know if this is like a "Am I the asshole" style question because this is just like it's just, "Did I do something wrong?" Is there a different Reddit for that? Is "Did I do something wrong?" Is this wrong?
I mean,
'Cause I
there's
don't
am
think
I
this
the asshole?
qualifies
Am I
as
the jerk? Am I overreacting?
yeah, I don't think this classifies as an "Am I the asshole" quote, or problem, but I don't know. I have some opinions on this, but I feel like I'm gonna rant about it, so I'm gonna let you go
That's
first.
the point.
What do you have any feelings first?
I mean, I'm torn. Like, it's not a huge deal for if I were walking through the high school, I wouldn't be offended about it. I wouldn't give a crap. I would probably chuckle and move on. But I do see where the principle's coming from. It can be something that not everybody wants to see, and it does only take one person to be offended for it to be a problem. And I don't know with this school, I went to Catholic school. 8th graders and pre-K were in the same building. Even though they're an 8th grader and they know what it means and they haha funny sex number, that doesn't mean that there's not or could never be younger kids walking through that don't know what that is and then start asking the wrong questions, or a parent of a young child sees it and they don't like it. I think it's way too far to do anything to get the government involved with, it's not even like they put 69 on there to be funny. They put it on there partly because it's funny, but also because it is their track number. I think part of the blame lies with the track. They shouldn't give that number. No, especially to like young teenagers, knowing what it is. Um, but it's just I think just have them take it down. Maybe give them a new number. It sucks that it's your favorite number and your lucky number, but yeah, I don't think it's that big a deal. That I don't think there's any asshole here. I don't think the principal's the asshole for telling them to take it down. Maybe if they had done more punishment for this, because it's really not that huge a deal. I don't think the kid's an asshole for putting the 69 on there. It is funny, and it's their track number, but they should take it down if they're told to take it down. There's my
Uh,
rant. I'm
I
ready for
think
yours.
we should just stuff the kid in the locker for 69 minutes. And if he stays in there and he doesn't freak out, then let him keep it on the locker. But if he
Okay,
can't
so like a
stand
trial
there,
by fire kind of deal.
yeah, like let's just shove him in the locker and just lock it up. That way he can't get himself out. And we'll say, hey, we'll be back in just under 70 minutes. And if you don't have a full blown panic attack, or if you don't freak out and get all claustrophobic, then hey, you know what? You've earned it. You can have that number. But if you can't stay in there, buddy, then hey, guess what? Sorry, now you have some
Are we
trauma and you lose your number.
are we
Sorry.
giving air holes?
All lockers have air holes in them already.
Well, we could block them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think we have to modify the locker, because they already have, like, those little sluts in there. Not sluts, slots.
Oh,
I
so
was
that's why
I
you want him in the locker
I
for
was torn between
69 minutes in heaven.
I
Gotcha.
was torn between saying slits and slots, and sluts came out.
Don't
Actually,
you
I meant
hate it when
slits.
don't you hate it
That
when sluts just come out?
Yeah. They have a bunch of sluts in their lockers, and so people can breathe because
Oh, me
there's more
too.
s
I get
oh,
it.
man. I guess it'd be like a slot is something that's for like putting something into, like, oh, that's like a mail slot. I think a slit is like it's an air hole. So yeah, there's like there's little vent slits like in there that like lets
Mhm.
air circulate in the locker.
Well, what I'm
So
asking really is, do you wanna do hard mode? We'll
no,
block
I
up the
think
air holes, the air slots, and
unless the kid says, "Sure, can I do it in half the time if we do it on challenge mode?" And then we cover up all the air holes and see if he can just control his breathing long enough to not suffocate in the locker. Yeah. Then there you go. You earned it. Now it's maybe 34 minutes, 34 and a half minutes instead of
now
69 minutes.
what if I'm an adult and I want it taken down? Can I go into a locker for 70 minutes and be like, "I beat your score, so now it has to come down?"
I think it's just you go head to head. Both you get into the locker adjacent to each other. You can talk as much shit as you want, but someone's got to give.
Well, that's
You know,
fine. I like the idea of going head to head because I don't
like a Squid
lift
Games kind
weights
of
or
thing.
anything, but I'm pretty sure I could take an 8th grader.
Oh yeah, I beat kids up all the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Um,
I could win that fight.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but it would be like you're in one locker, that he's in another locker, and you're shut in there, and you have to
Oh, I
see who's
don't get to
the
beat him
champion.
up.
No, no, no. In this, it's you put them, you both in the locker, and then whoever goes the longest gets to make the decision of what happens.
What if I put them in the locker and then throw the locker down a hill?
How are you going to get the locker out? Those things are screwed into other lockers. You'd have to
Oh,
take like a whole row of them
I
out.
got friends. I'm old enough
You
that I
just said you
can.
don't lift weight.
Yeah,
How
well,
are you going
I'm
to lift
old
the
enough
locker?
that I can go and rent out like one of those little mini construction vehicles from Home Depot.
I mean, you could, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like you'd still have to move it.
I have age on my side, bitch. I can pay for a lot of services that would help me beat the crap out of you.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you can choose your champions, you can choose your
Yeah.
services. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at. It's just like if you really want it that bad, then you have to earn it.
Okay.
Um, Although I do think if it's like, oh, we're team 69 or like we're track meets, whatever it is that is for your team, I do think you should be allowed to represent that somewhere to say, like, hey, this is just what our number is. Like, you can't, it's a number at the end of the day. I think what gets dicey in this, and this is my real answer, is the fact that he keeps drawing attention to it. And we don't know in what context he is doing it. Cause, like, we've all been a kid. We all like to be edgy, especially when we're getting into our teens and we think we're going to say some outrageous shit. Like this kid knows, oh, this is a sexy number. This is the number, right? So it goes from like, oh, this is my special number. Hey. And if you don't keep drawing attention to it, then like it becomes part of the scenery. Like people don't typically
Well,
notice it that much.
it did say in here,
He kept
um,
asking, what do you think of my
yeah,
number?
if people like like the number on the locker, which,
Right. So
like you
that's
said, yeah.
that's the problematic portion that I think needs to be uh uh diagnosed is like how are you saying it if you're like hey, especially if it's to other women or other girls or if it's to like other dudes around other girls and being like hey, because I do think that there's like an infestation of it within the internet of just like the way streamers and influencers have a grip on a lot of young minds that a lot of young boys especially and a lot of young girls are learning like what not to be and so are young boys and how they should look at other genders or people they're interested in. And so like I do think there is like a slippery slope there where if this kid is like hey, you should come look at this because wink wink nudge nudge, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the that's the problem. That's where I'm like, okay, I can see where somebody might be like, this could give the wrong impression to someone. This could offend somebody. This could upset somebody. You might give off the wrong thing. It only takes one, and heaven forbid you say it to someone who really does get offended because they think you're being perverse and they go and tell their mom or their dad or whomever their guardian is. And then now the school's got a big problem on their hands.
Right.
Like, that's where I'm like, okay, that's where I think if you are trying to draw attention to it very regularly, you are being disruptive and you could upset somebody. Where if you just leave it on your locker because you're like, hey, that's the number that's important to me because it's, my track and field or my cross country, whatever it is, team number. I don't see anything wrong with that, but just fucking leave people alone about it. Just let it blend into the background and be proud of your team. Cool.
Mhm.
I don't care. Right? If you were a football player and that was the number on your jersey, you should be allowed to fly that on your locker if you're allowed to decorate your locker, that is. Most people had in my school had to decorate the inside of their locker. Like it could be whatever you wanted on the inside door or on the inside walls if you could fit it, but we weren't allowed to put stuff on the outside of the locker. But if you're allowed to decorate the outside of your locker, then you say, hey, that's my jersey number. If it says person's last name 69, like, okay, that's your number. You should be allowed to do that. But if you're just being like a little perv and being like, hey, right? Hey, guys, hey, girls, did you see this? Right? Am I right? Like, okay, now you're being a little dickweed and yeah,
But you know
get
what?
stuff in the locker.
I was thinking while you were talking that it's also the fact that it's a school, like, yeah, it sucks that you're not allowed to really have any fun at school kind of thing, but, like,
I had a blast at school.
well, first of all, yes, you can, but, like, there are certain things that just should not show up in school, that kind of being one of them. Like, you are there at the end of the day to learn. You need to keep, and it's one of those things where if you give an inch, kids will take a mile. You cannot let kids have some funny stuff or fun, not fun, some inappropriate things, but not others. They will
Sure.
keep pushing the envelope. So it's one of those things. As an adult, you kind of realize, like, yeah, okay, I really can't let these kids have any rope when it comes to like inappropriate stuff at school because you give a little bit and suddenly you have to make that concession for everybody and it gets out of control real quick.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
like I do get it. I still don't think there's any asshole here really,
No,
unless
because
the
I don't
kid
think this
fights
is
to
an
keep it up.
right. I don't think this fits that thread. I don't think that's what this is. Usually there's a very clear this person did wrong or this person did wrong, but it's just, hey, I did a thing and some people are like, hey, you can't do that. Like, I
All right.
guess, but
Let's give it a little change then. What if it was on am I overreacting? Am I overreacting for having to take down the 69?
or is the school
Or
overreacting
is the
because I
school
put it up?
overreacting to it?
Sure. That would fit a little bit better. And I think just to protect themselves again because this child are constantly getting people to look at it. Like you drew attention to it. If you just put it up and let it go, it probably would have been fine.
Mhm,
Right. But like, also, that's not your lucky number. Don't try to put more emphasis on it than you need to. No one has lucky numbers. People just choose a number and say it's their lucky number because they like that number. Most people weren't blessed by a number. I'm like, oh, well, now I must have this always and forever. It's very rare. N- Let's just get rid of the idea of lucky numbers, okay? It's a number that you like, probably for the reason that most people like it. It's not your lucky number. Get over yourself. But if it's a number that's important to you because of your team, sure, then it's a number that means something to you beyond just the silly number. That's like my team. That's a place I love. That's a group of people I enjoy. Fine, cool. Team 69 all the way. Absolutely. Right. But if you're like, but
mhm.
nobody is going to be like, hey, did you see my team number? Hey. It's just about my team because it's special to me. There's no one who's going to say that doesn't have like a secret agenda underneath drawing attention to it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
The only way this would ever work with another number would be like, "Hey, do you remember that legendary player that graduated last year? I got his number."
Sure.
That's the only way somebody will ever bring up a number for their sport in school and be like, "I'm calling attention to this not because it has a special meaning to the school itself, but to me."
Right. I couldn't tell
Outside
you
of like
any
69 being the sex number and being like,
right, I couldn't tell you anybody's jersey numbers that was on my high school team, football team. So like nobody's number meant
Mhm.
shit to me. So like I just didn't care. Um yeah. So yeah, I think the long and short of it is there's no asshole here. Is there an overreaction? No, I think the school's reaction is appropriate based on my assumption. Again, I am assuming, but my assumption that you've been drawing way too much attention to it. Like, just, like, trying to get everyone to talk about it and look at it. If you just put it up and let it alone, it probably would have been fine. Maybe somebody might have reported it and be like, "Oh, hey, why does he get to have that number up?" But also just put it on the inside of your locker. No one else will see it, right? You get to see it every time you put your combination in. Like, I don't know. If it's just for you and it's important just for you, then put it on the inside of your locker and then it'll be fine. That's the compromise. Put it on the inside and then stop drawing attention to it. Put it
Yeah,
on the
I
inside
don't
door when
think
you
that's
open it
gonna
up.
work out though, because I honestly I do not think that this is because it's important to them at all.
I don't think it is either.
No, I
I
think they're
truly don't
using
think
that
it
as
is.
an excuse. "Oh, it's my favorite number, it's my lucky number." Do you just like that number because it's the sex number? Like,
And
let's
the
be
kid
real, is that why it's your favorite number?
and if it's eloquently written, the kid probably had AI write it. So, like, like, I
Oh,
just
it's not eloquently written.
okay, good. I was gonna say, if it's
This is
written in a way that
definitely written by, like, an 8th grader.
okay, good. I was gonna say
That's
because most people have to have a fucking robot to
No,
think
that's
for them
not,
now.
like, to put down anybody either, like,
I
they
am.
are in 8th grade, like, they should write like an 8th grader, but you get bits that are like, "She might have to report it to a government sexual harassment cult or whatnot." I'm like, "Yeah, that's how I would write that in 8th grade too."
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, yes, I do believe that this was actually written by a person.
Okay, good. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Um, so no one's an asshole, but you knew what you were doing.
Mhm, mhm.
You knew what you were doing. Listen, we all want to look at it and go, nice. But that's the thing. Can I just talk about this for a second? Look,
I'd love it if you did.
it's just look, yes, it's a funny number because it stood the test of time. It's just, eventually people just started saying nice and then you move on, right? Like that's it. But if you keep hammering this joke all the time, it's just it loses meaning. It loses gusto because everybody already knows. It's not nothing's new under the sun. And really, you don't want to force it. It's when that number comes up organically that you go, "Nice." Right? And then you move on. Like no
Mhm.
one has a full-on conversation about the number 69 beyond just acknowledging it and then moving on. Like I've never had a long ass discussion like this where someone's like, "Well, your bill comes to $69 even." You go, "Nice." And then we move on. It's like, "Okay, so what are we doing today?" That's it. That's it. Like, that's all it has
We
to be.
actually have made a little game out of it. So if I see 69 somewhere, I'll go to Umbaluga and I'll just be like, "Nice," and then it's up to her to find it.
Sure. But see, but that's it. Then it's
But
like
that's
you
it.
reverse
But then
engineered it
she
into like
finds it
a
and she looks at me and goes, "Nice," and then that's it. We're done.
that's exactly it. And like, the only time this ever gets stretched out beyond turning into a little game is when you want to see if somebody else notices it and you don't say anything. Like
Mhm.
I've done that where like I see it and I'm just like trying to really, what's the word I'm looking for? Where I'm really trying to accent it with my eyes, like really trying to draw attention to it without like overdoing it and seeing if somebody else sees it first. And then then you just kind of give that knowing nod to somebody, especially if you're like in a
I'm
meeting
doing
or
it right now, that one where you kinda make the duck face and go like, "Yeah."
right. And then you look at each other and you just do the nod. Like
I
that's
love the
it.
nod. The nod is
Yeah.
so good.
The nod is like there's a couple different nods you can do, but there's the one that just most people acknowledge that when you see it, you just kind of give like a little smirk and you kind of tip up your head a little bit and go, "Yep." Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. That's it. And you can use that nod for so many things. But even just a greeting, if you just like tip your head up real quick and keep walking, that's like a sup. And then you just keep going. Right. So anyway, there's ways to appreciate it without just like, just beating that horse far past its expiration date.
Mhm,
And that's
mhm.
with any joke. Like comedy is there's a time and a place to keep repeating a joke and having a callback to it because it's fresh. But then like if that's the only thing you can like my brother used to be real bad at it. My brother was always very socially poor, socially awkward. He just he wasn't very funny and he knew that like he didn't always get like a rise. So like when he found something that did make somebody laugh, understandably he was like, "Well, I have to lean into this because like oh, people liked this." And then he went back to being annoying because that's all he wanted to talk about was this funny thing that he did because he was riding the high of, "Oh, people might like me now." And it's sad and I understand like how your brain can do that. But that's another example of if you just hammer it too much, then it's just like, okay, it was funny then, it's annoying now. Like,
Mhm.
so let's not make this thing annoying. Just let it happen organically. If it's, Everybody can acknowledge, you go, "Ah, nice," and then you move on. Unlike just, I don't know, there's an art to comedy, and
Well,
I
yeah,
think
it's
people lose
like
it.
it's the same thing with like a penis on something. Like if something makes the I know. If something happens
That's
to
it.
make the
That's all you
shape,
do.
you go like, "Oh my god, like, oh my god, look, it looks like a penis." And that's it. But you don't go around drawing them everywhere unless you're that person and it's annoying.
Oh, I have never understood that, man. I had so many, like, in my high school, dudes especially were just obsessed with drawing what they like. Again, you draw like the two little circles and the big old stick at the end, and like it looked more like a rocket ship than it looked like an actual genitalia. And I'm like, and dudes were obsessed with drawing it everywhere in their assignment books, in other people's books, spray painting it, drawing it on lockers. Like, why are you so obsessed with this thing if you're so afraid of being gay? Why
Mhm.
do you want to keep
Now
looking at
don't get me
wieners
wrong,
everywhere?
I was in high school. I drew it all over the place, like, on,
I
like, my
didn't.
friends' car windows and stuff. If they were dirty, I would draw one. But that was the joke to them, is like, "Hey, I caught you with dirty windows, here's your punishment." I
Oh
wouldn't
man.
just write it in my own books and
I
stuff.
still can't draw it now. I don't know how to do it. Like, I just never drew penises on anything.
It's
Like,
like super what was it, Superbad? I think where the one kid is, like, obsessed with drawing them and draws them in all different shapes and
oh,
sizes and
right. Yeah,
styles.
yeah, yeah. He makes them all veiny and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't get it. But I mean, whatever. But yeah, I just kept thinking for a lot of dudes, you say, "Oh, that's gay. Get that away from me. Oh, that's gay. That's gay. That's gay." And that was like the whole thing in my school. It was like, "Oh, that's gay." Right? You guys sure do a lot of gay shit for being so afraid of being gay.
Yeah, sure obsessed with penises for being afraid of them.
Like when I saw an opportunity to draw anything on somebody's thing, I always signed my name. I wanted people to know I did it. It wasn't a penis, it was my signature. I was like, I signed your thing. If I get famous, you're welcome. I would sign my shit, or I'd sign my name on people's shoes with a marker. Like, ha.
Nowadays, I just write Dan was here with
Oh yeah. I used
WUZHEAR.
I used to do Kilroy was here right around like ninth
Oh,
grade.
yeah, Kilroy was here.
And I before I even knew what that was from, I saw it was, like, on a lot of Looney Tunes. It was a joke that popped up a lot where someone's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
is he here?" And it'd say Kilroy was here, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." I actually went by Kilroy for a long time as a nickname, and, not in school, but, like, on the internet, and, uh I wrote Kilroy was here, and then one day an English teacher, when I wrote it on my paper, I do it a lot on my paper, and I wasn't very good, but I always wrote Kilroy was here next to my name. And then one time my English teacher drew the iconic image that I didn't know of at the time of like the guy with the nose and he's looking over the wall. And I was like, "Hey, what is that?" And he goes, "Oh, I thought you knew. That's why you wrote it there." And I told him where I got the influence from. And he directed me to like somewhere in the library to kind of read up. He's like, "Hey, this is actually what this was. This was a very
Yeah, this was an actual thing.
this was an actual thing that World War II soldiers did that like Hitler thought that was like some assassin that was going to come get him because there were Kilroy was here was written everywhere, all over the place. They would sign it on German tanks when they weren't around just to spook Hitler to make him think like, oh, this person might be in my ranks. Like this Kilroy was here thing was just a funny joke to let other soldiers know, like, hey, we were here. Right. And but like when they started seeing it signed everywhere, Hitler was like going mad. He was like, "Who is this person? Is he in my ranks? Am I in danger?" And so they just kept doing it because they knew it was like psychological warfare during the war. And I didn't know that. I just thought it was a silly thing that like a Marvin the Martian or Bugs Bunny wrote on the moon
Yeah.
once. Like,
I'll be
you
honest,
know?
I didn't know that either. I just knew I knew what the image was, and I knew it had something to do with World War II in America. I did not know I'm looking at it right now. I did not know it was meant to be, like,
Yeah.
almost a psychological game of we were here already.
Right, like, especially because they would start if they could get close enough to German vehicles, they would write it in, like, white paint
Mhm.
on the vehicles, and then if they got back, they'd be like, he'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck is this? Is he here now? Is he in one of the tanks? Did he come with you? He was near, who is this person?" Because no one knew. I don't
So
even know where the word Kilroy came from. That's the part
well,
that I don't know.
I'm looking at right
I don't know
now.
if
It
it's from, like, a
originated
sergeant
with a
or
shipyard inspector, James J. Kilroy, who
ah,
would use it to mark his work when he inspected the ships, and then soldiers adopted it globally as a good luck charm and a way
ah,
to claim a space marking it that
there
they
we
were
go.
here already.
Yeah, and so they would just do that all like wherever they were, and if other soldiers saw it, they were like, oh, some of our guys were here. This might be safer or whatever. But then they just learned, like, hey, our intelligence says that the ranking officers in the German military they're freaking out because they think they have someone amongst them that is,
That's
here.
funny. It goes to show that, like, we spend billions, trillions on all these crazy things for warfare, but sometimes, man, you overthink it. Like, a simple picture can really play some mind games with other
Oh,
people.
for sure. For sure. When I was a kid, I think the first time I saw that, I can't remember the full cartoon. It was like a mini skit. I think it was a Looney Tune, might have been a Tex Avery thing, but it was like a cat, this cat character who was just trying to find a place to get peace. There were fireworks everywhere. He kept trying to go all over the country, trying to just find a place that was quiet. And every time he thought he found one, an explosion happened, a battle happened, fireworks went off, just some crazy shit where there was just horns going off everywhere. And then finally, he finds a spaceship and he blasts off up onto the moon and he sits there and he's just like, peace at last. Oh, and I'm the first person ever on the moon. And then he looks over and there's a big space rock next to him that says Kilroy was here on it. And it was just like a little joke of like somebody was here already. And I was like, that's funny. So I just started writing it on shit because I thought that was funny. And then like my English teacher was like, hey man, there's a whole lot more than this than you think, buddy. You should check this out. And I was like, holy fuck, I had no idea.
Dude, organic rabbit holes like that are so good.
Yeah, yeah. So just in case you guys didn't know that are listening, there you go. It's just a
Thank you, Mr. Kilroy, for
thank you. Yeah,
bringing
thank you,
us this
Inspector Kilroy.
joy.
But let's talk about before we wrap up, Danny. I have to draw attention to the elephant in the room. What 69 really is. Let's just talk about why that's important, okay? Among
Sorry, elephant.
among among many things, the most important reason we acknowledge this number is because that is the year 1969 is when we went to the moon, when a man walked on the moon. July 20th, Neil Armstrong became the first man from Earth, because I don't know about other planets, to walk on the moon.
I don't think we've ever sent people to any other planets.
No, no, no. I mean, I don't know if other planets have sent someone to the moon.
Oh, probably not.
I don't
At
know
least
that.
none that we know of.
Exactly. We don't know.
Right.
So I say that the first person from Earth, the first Earthling to walk on the moon alongside Buzz Aldrin and a few others, inspiring, running alongside the night, what was it, a space oddity or a space odyssey, whatever it was with David Bowie, that song too, ground control to Major Tom.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's the big one. Also, Woodstock Music Festival was in 1969. That was in June. 50,000 people in attendance at Woodstock. Famous, right?
Okay, okay, yeah, I see where you're going. There is
Just
just
saying.
one big problem.
What?
Well, you see, there's also this other little known thing about 69, that it's some kind of sexual position, right? And that girls
Eh,
like it. But I know for a fact that girls don't actually like sex. I know because I've had sex with plenty of them and not a single one of them has liked it. So obviously none of them like it, which tells me, right, that all this stuff from 1969, I don't think any of it is real. I don't think Woodstock happened. And I think that the moon landing was a hoax.
I don't know what the fuck that was, but that was great. I can't believe you said that with your mother listening. My goodness. I was trying to keep it away from that, but you just went
Well, this
and
is just a little known thing about 69. Mostly it's about those things, but I don't think they're real
oh, well, that's fair. I mean, it's okay for you to
because women,
have your feelings.
because
You
women,
know,
Adam.
do you think the earth is flat
It's
too?
obviously their fault.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were
Yeah,
talking about
clearly the
incels
earth is
earlier.
flat because
Yeah,
when I look out at the earth, I don't see what looks like a big boobie, and boobies are round.
that's
So
true.
clearly it must be flat.
The Laura Crofts weren't. They were like
Oh,
polyhedral.
they were sharp as hell, man. Those were
Yeah.
mountains.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the long and short of it on why that number is important. 1969, an important year. Fun fact about me learning that fun fact was I remember the year. Do you remember a show on the Disney Channel from years ago called Even Stevens where Shia LaBeouf got his start?
Yes. I never watched it, but I know the show.
There was a musical episode, and one of the best songs that came from it, the whole thing is a musical because his sister Ren is having a fever and she's having a bunch of fever dreams. So she thinks she's in school and a bunch of these musical things are happening, but she doesn't know that it's a dream yet. And so like this whole thing happens, these different musicals. And she's the real smart whiz kid of the family. She's the real intelligent one. And she's in a thing and she's like, oh, I was supposed to do a report. My rival, who's usually second place in all of, I'm going for valedictorian, he did a really stellar report. I have to beat him. I'm driven by all this. And she says, but all I can remember about the moon is that we went there in 1969. I can't think of anything else. I'm drawing a blank. I didn't do my report. I don't know what's wrong with me. She was sick. That's why. Um, and so she just improvs a song where the entire song is just her saying in different ways that we went to the moon in 1969. Like there's no other context to it, but she just rhymes it in different ways while saying the same thing over and over again. And it's a very clever, very fun song. And I just have that burned into my memory. If anybody says, what year did we go to the moon? I know we went because the opening lyric is we went to the moon in 1969, not 1970, but was it not 1970, but a year before. Da-da. And then something else. I can't remember, but
I'll
something
have to
like
look
that.
that up. That actually sounds very interesting. I want to
It's
see
a
how they
great
can
song.
say it in all these different ways.
Yeah, like I think one of it's like we went to the moon in 1969, not 1970, but a year sooner. We went to the moon in 1969. It's when we made a landing that was lunar. And like it's just lyrics like that where she just says the same thing but in different ways.
Amazing. I
It's
hope
fucking
she got an
awesome.
A.
It's she actually no, everybody joins in, the class is into it and they're like, "Yeah," and they're all cheering at the end of the song and then the teacher's like, "Cool, but you didn't tell us any new information. You get an F."
Oh.
It's a great episode, man. Um, yeah, I highly recommend it. And then at the very end of the episode, when she wakes up and realizes that she's been having a fever dream, her brother play what is Shia LaBeouf's character's name? I can't even think of it right now. Um, what? How did I not know his fucking God? I can't remember.
Was it
Anyway, her brother comes
Steven?
up and he has like a tray of food and he sings I've got some soup, delicious chicken soup in the theme of the song that she dreamed that she sang. And so she freaks out. She's like, "Oh fuck." Um she's like, "Am I still asleep?" Anyway, great episode, great show, honestly. And yeah. That's why I know that. Is
Well, you know
because
what? I'm happy you know that. That's very good. That's
it's
a
a
good
great
bit of
song.
random knowledge.
It's a great song, but I'm really upset that I can't remember um what the fuck his character's name. Lewis. That's his name. Gee, I would have
Shouldn't
never
it
you
be
could have given
like
me 100 years and
Steven
I
or
wouldn't have gotten
something?
it.
What is even Stevens? Is it their last name?
Stevens is their last name, yeah.
Okay.
And it's usually like a rivalry between Ren and Lewis where they just sibling rivalry. He's a little bit of he's the younger brother. He's always giving her shit. She's like the perfect sister and like has her own problems she's dealing with. And so they're always just like finding ways to like one up each other and shit. And
Yeah, I was
yeah.
too busy watching Ren and Stimpy for that.
I am. I loved Ren and Stimpy, but I
Mhm.
didn't watch it as adamantly. I think I just caught it
I
whenever it was
I
on.
I have one core memory of that show where Stimpy loses his fart and he tries to find it again.
Stimpy loses his fart?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I fucking love that.
Explains a lot about me, right? That's my childhood.
I think that's a great a great
I think
premise.
it was like he farted and it was alive. It was like a living get fart gas, and it was
Oh, really?
cold and alone, and he's trying to find it.
That's great. I genuinely can only remember like a few quips and of course happy
Stupid
happy joy
idiot.
joy, but
Oh,
like
and Happy Joy Joy. Yep.
I just don't I remember there was like what was his name Powdered Toast Man was a character. Uh
Yeah, he was like the superhero with Redhead.
yeah, and then
God,
yeah, I can't
that's
remember a
really
ton
the only
else
thing I
beyond that.
remember. I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to rewatch Ren and Stimpy now.
They did revive it when like Spike TV was new. and they were trying to come out with like edgy. It was like, remember Spike TV? It was like,
Mhm.
oh, it's the man's network,
I
and
used to watch Mansers, and back
yeah,
then I was dumb
Mantras was
enough
on
to
there. They
think
had
that
that.
that was real.
What was that one that Stripperella, that short-lived animated series where Pamela
Yeah,
Anderson voiced a character like herself, and she just did a lot of sexual things as a superhero because it's for men.
because you
And then,
man.
there
1,000 Ways
was,
to Die, I used to watch a lot.
yeah, Thousand Ways to Die, and I think that was when they revived Ren and Stimpy for a short while, and they kind of reanimated it and gave it updated graphics, and it was written for a more modern audience, but it was also very edgy. It was very adult content,
Mhm.
even more so than the original cartoon was, even though it was a kids cartoon. Um, and I remember just being like, "Oh
They
yeah, Ren and Stimpy," but I don't think that lasted very long either.
No, I don't think it did. Although, what was the one they just did a couple years ago that was apparently pretty good?
A
Warner
remake?
Brothers. Yeah. The
Or
3 Yakko, Wacko, and Dot God.
Animaniacs?
Animaniacs. Didn't they
I
just do, like,
love.
a refresh of that?
They did. They did a couple new
I
seasons. It's
heard it
on
was
Hulu
pretty
though, so I
good
haven't gotten to
too.
see them all. I saw a few episodes. I loved it. I always hoped for like a modern take because they always fried everybody
Mm,
in the social and political spectrum on their show back in the day, but I was too young to really appreciate it. But they updated it. They had a modern take on it. There was a lot more of the actual Warner Brothers and sister because back in the day it was like a little bit of them and a lot of other skits.
yeah, it
But
was like
it was
a
a lot more
clip show
heavily influenced
almost.
by them. I honestly wanted to see more of them. But that was where a lot of great cartoons came from, like Buttons and Mindy. What the fuck is that? The
Pinky and the
squirrel with
Brain
her
came from
Pinky in
that.
the Brain. Yeah, I love Animaniacs. I still watch old clips from like their old music videos where they sing about the states and capitals and
Mhm.
the
Fingerprints.
countries, the presidents. What's that?
Fingerprints.
Oh yeah, fingerprints,
My
not on your
favorite
life.
skit. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, like we're
I
looking
don't
for
think
prints.
so.
I found them. No fingerprints, not on your life. Like what a great little sneaky joke to
It's
put in
so
there.
good.
Yeah. It's a great show, and I love it, and,
Go watch Animaniacs.
go
Go
watch
watch
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs. Go watch, Ren and Stimpy, even Stevens, but most of all, just please, for the love of God, try not to be an asshole this year, alright?
Try
Just
not
don't
to
be an
be a piece of
asshole.
shit this
Just
year.
don't be a
Yeah,
piece of shit this year.
don't be a piece of shit. We should say that at the end of every
Every
episode.
episode. Just look,
Just
I
don't.
know I know it's like July, the year is, half over, but just don't be a piece of shit this year.
Exactly, like, all the way into December of 2026, we're gonna be saying, "Don't be a piece
Look,
of shit this
don't
year."
be a you got this far.
It's never too late to unshitify
It's
yourself. Don't be
never
a
too
piece
late to
of shit.
not be a piece of shit. All
I
right?
used
Just
to say, "Life's an ass. When shit happens, wipe it."
there you
And,
go.
uh I will say, I want to make a callback to I think episode 1 of this show. I'm pretty sure it was episode 1, which was the episode was titled "Wash Your Ass," and I cannot express enough. I have too much information that I've seen through social media that a lot of people, specifically a lot of men, believe that wiping their ass and washing their ass makes them queer. Which, first of all, so what? Second of all, no, it doesn't. So please don't be gross. Don't be a piece of shit this year, and don't sit in your own shit this year. Wipe
Oh,
and wash your ass, you fucking weirdos.
that reminds me. Mbaluga got me for Christmas this year
A
a
bidet?
bidet. Yeah, I have to install it. I'm gonna
Oh,
try it
I've
out.
never tried one. I've never
Me
been in a
neither.
place
I've
where I could use
wanted
it.
to though because I've heard so many good things about them.
Yeah, I think it would be
And
alarming the
she
first.
finally caved and was like, "All right, fine. Let's get you a bidet." Well, because they're supposed to be so like they're so much cheaper too because you use like very little toilet paper
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've heard that like you might like do like a wipe afterwards just to kind of
just
pick
to
up where
dry
it missed
everything off, and
or to
that's
dry
it.
yourself off. But like, yeah, I've heard it's good too, but I haven't tried it yet.
Me neither, but I have. You're about to get into the shower. You're like, oh man, I got a shit too. You just take a shit, you give it like a courtesy wipe, and then you wash the rest off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
I'm
take that
assuming
shower
it's
head
just
off.
gonna be like that.
Yeah, take that shower head off, crank it on nice and hot, and just
Yeah, you put your
ooh,
thumb
it's so
halfway
nice.
over the hole so it shoots out with more pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Power wash
people
that
who
asshole.
there's a lot of people who like sun their perineums. I feel like me doing that to clean myself is the closest to sunning my perineum that I'll ever
Yeah,
get.
I don't think I'm ever gonna do that.
But I feel like that extra warmth is just so nice,
Mhm.
and you feel so fresh after you're done. Listen, folks, it's just listen. First of all, don't be afraid to be gay. If you're gay, you're just gonna be gay. Okay. Second of all, don't be weird. It's gross to not clean yourself. Okay. And I just feel like I need to say this on the off chance that someone will listen to this who doesn't do that. If you're offended at me telling you to wipe and wash your ass, think about why.
Well,
Why
let me put
you
it this
upset.
way. If I were a girl, and I know I'm not, I never wanted to be, never wanna be in the future as
You'd be
far
a
as I
pretty
know, but
girl.
and I know I can't speak for the female experience and all that, but I believe I can, in this instance, say without a doubt that if I were a girl, I would rather talk to a guy who might be a little gay but has a clean asshole than one who smells like shit and is like, "No, that's gay. Ew, that's disgusting. I ain't no gay."
Right, if you're
Shut the
scratching
hell
that
up, you gross, disgusting piece of crap.
if you're scratching that much down there, there's a problem. You give yourself diaper rash.
Mhm. If
You
you
get
need to slide your ass along the carpet like a dog, you have an issue.
That's diaper rash. You know, that's why babies get upset if like they're not cleaned well after they go in their diapers. That's where that comes from. So if you are scratching and rubbing against your chair and doing all this stuff all the time, guess what? You've turned yourself into a literal baby with diaper rash. Deal with your shit.
Which,
Come
let's
on
be
now.
real, if you're not wiping yourself because you think it's a little gay, you're already a big baby, so
It's
I guess
true.
you just
So
deserve it.
yeah. I've decided in 2026, I'm going to be like, I don't want to be meaner to people who already feel like the world is mean to them, but they get a lot less slack from me. I've learned enough about certain demographics of just awful people where I'm like, I don't think I can reach you in a way that I can reach most others. I still believe kindness is the best way to go, but I'm also much quicker to go on the offensive if somebody is also on the offensive from that side of whatever spectrum we're fucking on right now.
Mm,
Where I'm little
mhm.
less like, oh, okay, well, let's understand why you think that. I'm less likely to try to psychologically break it down and just be like, listen here, you fucking like shit sitter, quit it. Like
Maybe don't be a piece of shit this year, huh? How about
maybe
that?
don't be a piece of shit this year. Let's bring it all the way back
Yeah,
because
maybe just don't do that.
no one, regardless of their gender, is going to want a 69 you if you ain't washing your ass. Let me tell you that. Trust me, no one wants to go down into a sewer to do
No,
anything nice
nobody
for
wants to
you.
land on that moon.
Yeah, nobody. Nobody. Yeah. Did you say no one wants to land on that moon?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's a great. That is man. We got to make that into a shirt. That's fucking great, Danny. Nobody wants to land on that. I found my episode title.
There you
No-
go. I'm glad I could help.
Nobody wants. I'm writing it down right now to land on that moon. And I felt I was gonna put the word "nice" after our title, but I usually don't put title number or episode title numbers anyway, so I don't need to. Okay. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that's great. Exactly. Nobody wants to land on that moon if
If you
it's,
don't wash it, nobody's gonna wanna land on that moon.
wash the moon and you'll get no visitors. You'll get no
Not
interstellar
even
visitors.
Kilroy will go there.
Kilray won't even go to that. No, he will cancel his flight. He will cancel his trip.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, what do you say we round this out, Daniel?
I think that's a great idea. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you all for joining us on this super special, nice episode of That's Our Q, or TOQ for short. It has been an absolute pleasure to discuss this with all of you today, and especially you, Adam. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. I'm glad you're feeling better. You
Thank
sound
you.
pretty good. You're
Yeah,
sounding good.
I feel like
So,
I'm probably like 95%.
yeah, it sounds like you're on the mend, which is a very
Yeah,
good
yeah,
thing.
for sure. And yeah, and hey, listen, everybody, don't be a piece of shit this year. Take care of your mind.
You
Take care of your hearts.
just don't be a piece of shit.
Take care of each other. And once again, cannot stress this enough. Don't be a piece of shit this
Just
year.
don't. Just don't.
Just
Just don't.
don't.